Hey everyone, I'm Evan Portman here with Emerging Civil War, and I'm here with Neil Chatelain, one of our resident naval experts. So, I guess as far as the naval situation goes in 1864, how would you best describe that? Because I think we have a really good idea of the infantry and everything in 1864 through the whole war, but going into 1864, what is kind of the situation?
Yeah, so the United States Navy is at its height in 1864. It's the largest it's going to be in the conflict. It's got the most ships. It's got the most manpower. It's the largest naval force on Earth by 1864. It's doing a lot of different missions across the entire continent and the entire globe because the Navy still has ships deployed overseas as far as China and the Indian Ocean and whatnot. So, for example, the Mississippi River Naval Squadron is helping to advance up the Red River and keep the Mississippi River split and to advance into the different tributary waterways to further isolate the Confederacy from itself. The blockade is still in place along the last major ports of the Confederacy in 1864, such as at Charleston, Savannah, Mobile, Wilmington, and whatnot. The U.S. Navy is convoying ships in the Caribbean Sea and along the Atlantic seaboard to counter Confederate commerce raiders and to transport supplies, transport gold from California, and to keep the shipping lanes open so that the war effort can be maintained and the U.S. economy can be maintained. And the U.S. Navy is also taking direct assaults in cooperation with the Army, such as at the Battle of Mobile Bay in 1864.
Cool. Okay. So then, do you have a favorite naval action of 1864, or one that you think is the most pivotal or most important?
My favorite one would be the convoy systems of the Eastern Seaboard in 1864. It's the first sustained, long-term, permanently in place convoy system and taken on by the United States Navy.
Wow.
And it just shows that the Navy has a much bigger role to play than just simply being right next to a port city or right next to a military force.
Right.
They're taking on diplomatic missions. They're taking on economic missions. They're taking on ship-to-ship engagements and battles. And so the Navy's mission is much greater than what people generally acknowledge. And I think that just highlights those complexities.
For sure. Now, as far as Emerging Civil War goes, what does ECW mean to you?
Emerging Civil War, I really take the mission of the organization to heart. At our core, we're there to provide two things. One is to provide an avenue for people to get information about the Civil War era in an approachable way. And then the second reason is to provide an avenue for young up-and-coming historians to get a foothold. And I mean, I joined Emerging Civil War as one of those young up-and-coming historians, and I've grown within the organization. It's helped me grow as a person and as a historian. And so I really take that mission to heart to help bring forth the next cadre of young historians who are interested in this so that they can become emerged voices in the field and to get knowledge of the conflict out there beyond the norm so that more people, a wider audience, can appreciate the nuances of this conflict overall.
Excellent. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you online and on the battlefield.